Hey, welcome back to Right on the Money, your go-to resource for the financial topics that matter to you. And if you are just joining us, we're here with Matt Longland, Chartered Retirement Planning Counselor with Aligned Financial Partners. Matt, it's so great to have you on the show.
Thanks.
We've been talking about this awesome white paper that Matt has on his website that you want to go and get. It is 5 essential strategies to help ensure financial success in retirement. Why do you start retirement conversations with purpose instead of money?
Yeah, good question. I think a lot of the time people approach retirement and feel like I'm going to leave my primary job here and that's going to be it. And then it's like, what am I going to do after that? Yeah. You know, they think about it. And I've always said, I bet that, I don't have these numbers exactly, but I bet you it's greater than 75% of the people that I've helped retire do not fully retire. Mm-hmm. They end up doing something part-time, some consulting, or something they've always wanted to do. I've had clients that drive school buses, people that work at golf courses, that run yoga studios, you know, all these different things. And I think what it really comes down to is you don't just think about your financial health, you have to think about your physical and your mental health too as it relates to retirement, because I think that you need some daily human interaction in some way. Yes. The people that I feel like have not had as much success in retirement are the people that retire without a plan as to what they're going to do to keep themselves busy. Again, it's about being physically, mentally, and financially healthy.
What do you feel is the biggest misconception people have about retirement income?
That's a great question too, and I think it's one of the biggest ones. I think the biggest misconception is that people feel like they can just retire and continue doing things the way that they were as it relates to their money, when it's a totally different ballgame. When you're in the accumulation phase of your life, which is your working years, you're adding money to your 401k, you're putting money into savings, it's pretty easy, right? Because
Sure.
Our goal is to grow our money. Well, once you get to the distribution phase, which is where you are in retirement, the rules change. The game completely changes. There are totally different risks that present themselves to a retiree that are not present in the accumulation phase. And that's one of the biggest, I'd say, eye-openers for people when we sit down in meetings together and I start to educate them on why it's different in the distribution phase. And they say, we would have never thought about that. And that's where we really help people avoid mistakes, is by handling that transition in the right way and making them aware of the rules, the new rules that they need to follow in the distribution phase of their life.
Why do you think people put off answering tough questions about retirement?
Yeah, I think because it's just such a big decision. Before they're getting close to retirement, I think they just, they look at their 401k balance. You might have $1 million in your 401k, you might have 2, who knows what it is, but it's just kind of there. It's not being used for anything right now other than just growing it. And then when all of a sudden the reality hits them that I need some help with this, well, that's going to be probably the biggest decision of their life at that point, right? Because, now it becomes real. I've got $1 million here in my 401k. What am I supposed to do with this? And they don't have the answers.
Got to be terrifying.
So I think that, natural human reaction is to kick the can down the road a little bit. Just kind of push this down. We'll address that later when we really need to. And the reality is, the earlier that you get help with that, the more peace of mind that you're going to have, the more clarity that you'll have, the more confidence that you'll have when retirement actually arrives.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back on the other side, and we're going to talk about personal framing. We're going to talk about how to take the first step. Also, remember, if you like the show, do us that favor, squeeze the like button, click subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. We will see you right back here in just a moment.